Nearly 80% of traders lose money, some a few $100, others their life savings and maybe their will to live. These are the times when traders went absolutely nuts, starting with our first Reddit warrior, Hot Pudding. Also known as Juice, a guy who's been trading for over 4 years. At first, he dipped his toes into volatile penny stocks, waking up every day, scanning charts, and watching tickers. He wasn't making much, but he wasn't losing much either. Just a few hundred here and 1,000 there. He saw it as tuition, paying to learn. But then his friend introduced him to options. More specifically, 0DTEs, options that expire the same day. He left behind the slow grind of penny stocks and started trading SPY and QQQ options with serious money. He started paper trading and saw numbers that made him feel like the next buffet. No, not this buffet. Yeah, this buffet. Every day became a lottery. Some days he made 4 figures. Other days he lost his sanity, but the roller coaster had him hooked. He finally felt like the main character. So what did he do next? Yep, he quit his job. No consistent profits, no safety net, just blind faith in himself and the market. The plan was simple: trade full-time, get rich, and probably flex on Reddit. But the reality was something quite different. Bills, rent, and panic. Within weeks, he was down bad. So naturally, he took out a loan, because nothing screams good decision-making like using debt to fuel your trading account. He lost that. Then his girlfriend gave him money to help with bills. But being an absolute degenerate, he gambled it away and lost it too. At this point, he was $12,000 in debt, and the only green thing in his life was mold in his fridge. He might have sold his fridge too. Anyways, 5 months later, the dream was over. He had no money, no job, and eventually, he had nowhere to go, so he did the one thing he swore he wouldn't do. He moved back in with his parents at the age of 26. In the same room he used to play Minecraft in, now he was just speedrunning poverty instead. His parents weren't exactly supportive. His dad called him a failure, said he should give up on trading altogether. But he begged for 2 months, just 2 months to prove he could make it, and somehow he did. In the first 2 weeks, he made 20% gains with careful, disciplined trading. It was working. But then the pressure crept in. These gains weren't enough to impress his dad. And so our boy started taking bigger trades, more risk, and more bad decisions. And then he blew up his account again, down to under $100. All that was left was dust, despair, and a LinkedIn profile he hadn't updated since college. He had a full mental breakdown, spent a day sobbing into a pillow while his dad loudly watched Jeopardy downstairs. He was cooked. And just when you think he's about to turn it around, he says, "I have to get over myself and trade properly." I still believed in myself. Not looking to get a job, not looking to recover his mental health, but absolutely looking forward to trading properly this time. You gotta have a look at this comment. "Yay, I have to get over myself and trade properly." Sent me because for sure I thought he was gonna say get a job, lol. Bro is cooked and needs help. These next stories aren't from Reddit, but trust me, they're just as unhinged. Paul is a 27-year-old trader who learned the hard way that options trading is less get rich quick and more get humbled immediately. Paul had what every Reddit trader dreams of: a stable job, a 6-figure household income, and a fat emergency fund. So naturally, he looked at all that financial security and said, yeah, let's throw it at Tesla puts. It all started back in 2021, when Paul gave options trading a shot and immediately made $80,000 in 3 months. He felt unstoppable. Retirement seemed just around the corner. Or was it? It was 2025 April, and Paul saw headlines about new auto tariffs and thought, Tesla's definitely going down. This is my moment. And so he bought Tesla puts. Incredibly, Tesla did crash and he made $4,000. And that's when the greed kicked in and Paul decided to go bigger. So he doubled down on Tesla puts, just in time for the stock to not care at all and do its own thing. He woke up the next day to check his brokerage account. He was down a staggering $80,000. His emergency fund, gone. Reduced to atoms. He said in a podcast, "I thought I had enough information to make the right choice with the money that we had in our brokerage account." Even worse, Paul admitted this wasn't his first big loss, but the idea that one trade could change everything was just too strong for him to leave options trading for good. That $80K wasn't just numbers on a screen. It was his and his wife Vicky's safety net, their peace of mind, and Paul had punted it for some stonks. They still make a combined $169,000 a year, have a $110,000 in retirement savings, and $23,000 left in their emergency fund, now stored behind a password that probably only Vicky knows. Paul says he's done with options now. He said that before, but this time he actually sounded serious. Quick commercial break, sponsored by me. If you're still here, please hit that subscribe button and like the video. Thank you. All right, back to the chaos. The next guy on our list is a 40-year-old Singaporean IT professional, a self-made man, and certified hustler. This guy didn't just grind, he practically speed ran capitalism. He started working at age 10 at his aunt's fish stall. then flipped burgers, then sang at karaoke lounges. At some point, he even wrote a motivational book, probably titled Fish to Fortune. After decades of grinding hard, Jason had built up a $1 million investment portfolio, well diversified with stocks, Singapore savings bonds, and other investments. He literally went from $17,000 in February of 2021 to $938,000 in May of 2022. His portfolio surged 5,400% in just over a year. But just a few months later, Jason discovered options trading. Not just any options though. He discovered leaps, which are long-term call options with expiration dates over a year away. He went in heavy on tech, Apple, Amazon, and Google. Soon after, tech started booming, money was flowing, and Jason was printing gains. His portfolio had crossed the $1 million mark, enough to drop the mic, walk away, and coast into an early retirement. But then, all of a sudden, the market hit him with a plot twist. Tech stocks crashed hard, and Jason's options rapidly lost value. Because he had put a large portion of his portfolio into these trades, the losses piled up fast. When the dust settled, Jason had gone from $1 million to $394,000, a gigantic loss of $606K, or in Singaporean terms, roughly 30,000 plates of chicken rice gone. Jason said the loss wasn't just financial, it was emotional, because every dollar in that portfolio came from years of sweat, fast food shifts, and dreams of not having to work forever. This perfectly sums up what happened to our boy. That's a wrap, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.